faith in you. In you, yeah. Now feel
For the coals? Yeah. Well, no, it's like some hookah coals, ain't it? It should be good. It'll light itself. Then it'll burn through. You won't know.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music.
How you?
Good, man.
Ain't nothing I'm doing, man.
All right, that's good. That's good. Nice to see you, man. Yeah. What up? You gonna ask your questions now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Make sure you get everybody.
Why is there so many gods?
Stand right there for me.
Why is there so many gods?
Stand right there for me.
Right
Stand right there for me. Why is there so many gods?
Why is there so many gods?
No,
There's only one God.
I got you.
There's only one God.
I'm gonna answer that question. Number one, you're right. There's only one God. Right? Give me.
Why is there so many nationalities trying to fight? You can't all go over the Bible.
One question at a time. One question at a time. Your first question was, why is there so many gods? Right? Let's go to Exodus 20 and let's go to verse 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Read that one more time.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So that you're not supposed to have no God before him, right? So one would say, well, it said no other gods. So is there other gods? We're gonna see some, but we're gonna get some more precepts though.
But
give me, hold on, I got you. I'm gonna let you ask. But let me just get a couple more. Give me Isaiah 45 and 5. Isaiah 45 and 5. Right? Because we're talking about the truth of the Bible. There's only one true God, one true and living
There's
God.
only one.
Only one. Read
There's
that.
only one.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45 and verse 5. I am the Lord, and there is none else.
See, you say, I'm the Lord. There's none else. Go ahead.
There is no God beside me.
There's no God beside him. There's false gods all over the place. You got Zeus. You got Buddha. You got Christian.
But why though?
I got you. I'm going to tell you. You know how to answer that. I got you. We're going to hit you with one that's going to tell you why. But you got all these false gods, but they're not onto the level of the Most High God. There's only one Most High. There only can be one Most High. If there's two Most Highs, who is the Most High? They're equal. The Most High cannot be equal to nobody else. Read that one more time.
I am the Lord, and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded thee, Slakia, though thou hast not known me.
So there's no other God beside him. So now your other question is, why is there so many of them? Let's get it. Give me that Deuteronomy 4 and 19.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 19. Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars.
He said, unless you look up your eyes to heaven and you see the sun, the moon, and the stars. Go ahead.
And the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
See, God gave one God. He gave himself to the children of Israel, but he gave the other nations other gods for them to worship. But the people that are of this book, he only gave them one God, which is him, which is the Most High God, which is why he said there's no other God before him, right? Give me 2 Kings 17 and 29. We're going to get deeper into your question. Why are there so many gods? You got Buddha, you got Zeus,
Why is that? There's only one God. Why? I'm just asking. Question what? Question asked.
Yeah, that's the question we're going to answer. We're going to answer. Now, we started off answering it with Deuteronomy 4 and 19.
Why is everybody fighting? They're trying to be different nationalities.
It is different nationalities, but we'll get to that. Let's finish your first question, then we'll get to that. Go ahead.
All right, Colin. It's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17 and verse 29. Howbeit, every nation made gods of their own.
The Bible says every nation. That shows you right there there's different nationalities. Every nation made gods of their own. Go ahead.
And put them in the houses of the high places, which the Samaritans had made. Every nation in their cities wherein that they dwelt.
So every nation in the cities that they dwelt, they made their own gods. But here's the thing, right? Watch this. There's only one group of people in the Bible who got penalized for idolatry. Who's that one nation in the Bible that got penalized for idolatry? Right? Who is that? If you don't know, that's fine. I'll give you the answer.
I don't.
Okay, let's go to Hosea chapter 4. Let's go to Hosea chapter 4. All right? We're going to answer that. And then we'll talk about the nationalities thing, because that's another good question. But we want to bring this point.
Yeah, I was just questioning.
No, that's all good, man.
I'm just questioning.
We love them. Go to 16. We love those types of questions. Those are edifying questions. Let's go. Let's go to 16.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, and verse 16. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols.
Ephraim is talking about the northern kingdom, right?
Okay.
He was joined unto idols. He went into idolatry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone.
The Bible said, hey, God said, yo, leave them alone. They went into idolatry. So they was cast off, right? Because they went into idolatry. You see what I'm saying? So that's the one nation that the Most High, or the one group of people that the Most High actually punished for having another God. Can you show me in the Bible where he punished another nation outside of the group, the people of Israel, for having another God?
I can.
You see? Now.
Yeah, but look here. There's only one God. And if you're a true man of God, you're not going to fight and battle and have different nationalities.
How can you not have different nationalities when God made different nationalities?
That's only one God, man.
But that one God made different nationalities. So how can you say you won't have different nationalities?
He got us. Yeah, you're right.
Feel me?
He got us. Yeah.
So there's different nations of people. He made all those different nations.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. You know, because you're a man of God, then you're a godly man. You know, I'm not saying that you're not a godly man. You're a godly man. I'm just saying that I'm wondering. You know, I'm confused.
See, I'm gonna tell you why you're confused real quick, and you'll appreciate that. Yeah. So the Christian church has taught us that we all are the same people. We're all supposed to come together and be one people, right? But you know the Bible don't say that. The Bible does not say we're supposed to be one people. Actually, the Bible says that he divided everybody from his chosen people. Watch this. Read. Let him
God said you can be a nationality that you want to, as long as you serve me.
The Bible don't say that. Nowhere.
But see, that's what you're doing.
No, it's not what we're doing. We're actually being our true nationality that God gave us. And before that, let's get Jeremiah 17:4.
You've been a different nationality.
I'm not being a different nationality. I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
I'm not no different nationality. I'm what God gave me. Watch this.
Okay.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage.
This is a prophecy that we will discontinue from our heritage that God gave us. Go ahead, it's going to say that.
That I gave thee.
That God gave us. He gave us an heritage. He gave us a nationality. But far and wide, a lot of people are not living inside their God-given nationality.
So why can't all nationalities be as one God?
All nationalities can't serve one God because he's only a God of one people. And I can prove
God
that in the Bible.
said he loves us all.
Where he said it at?
He said he loves us all.
Where did God say he loves everybody?
It's in the Bible.
Oh, it's in the Bible. Hey, my man, you believe in the Bible?
Man, yeah, but it's got a lot. I think it's got a lot of folklore.
They don't care what kind.
You said it got a lot of what?
A lot of folklore.
They don't care.
Like what?
Christian stories like Moses.
You
Yeah,
think that's a fake story?
It's not necessarily that it was fake, but I don't think it was legitimate history. Like it legitimately happened.
Well, you know, you can actually look into history and see they found chariots in the Red Sea. Right. They've actually found it. So that can't be folklore. you got the biblical text, which is a history book, because that's all the Bible is a history book, right? And then you have the artifacts to prove it. See what I'm saying?
But see, here's the thing. They also talk about how there weren't slaves in Egypt. There were workers that were paid in bread and butter.
No. So if you have a slave, right? Slaves are free labor, correct? But hold on. If you're a slave and you want, or if you have slaves and you want them to continue to work, you must do what? You got to feed them. That's the only way. Or if you don't, what's going to happen? They're going to die.
Yeah, gotta give them
it's just like your car. You want it to keep rolling, but if you don't put no gas in it, what's it going to do?
Yeah.
So no, these were slaves. We was called to serve a rigor. Look that up and on your phone real quick and find that. All right, I'm gonna get you a biblical scripture that actually tells you that they say the same thing about black people. They say the same thing. What's your nationality?
Hispanic.
They say it about y'all. Like y'all just, we just came over here for work. No, you got the so-called white man, right? They came and conquered your people just like they conquered our people.
Right.
Right. They took over. Texas is part of Mexico. We know this.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and here's the thing. See, I talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually writing a book myself. It's titled Cigarette.
Okay.
And see, but here's another fact on it is that Hispanics have always been here as much as Native Americans.
Exactly. We
like
believe that.
In this country, it's like we've always been here.
We believe that.
So it's like it's a psychological twist. And get this, no other country around the world do they classify either white or black. You go to England, they're English. You go to Canada,
because that's a nationality.
Right. You go to America, they classify you as black or white. You go to Mexico, we got light skin, dark skin. We got guys like you, and then we got guys.
I went
like
to school with some of them. Yep.
And you know what they call them? Mexicans. They don't call them black. They don't call them white Mexicans. They don't say that.
Yeah.
And so you go to Australia, you find the same thing. You got native, like the Australian Native Australians there and stuff. Yeah. Australian. They're still classified as Australian. But see, here's the thing. Only us in the United States can classify either human being white or black.
That's right.
And so unless it really hits you from how they're dinner table conversations, that's when people start saying it. But in reality, we didn't really use it like that
because we went off the nation that we derived from.
Yeah, and see, they've always had problems with that too because it was all brainwashed because something else, which is where my book comes from. See, back then they used to have beef with the Irish. They had beef with the Jews. They had beef with the English and the Italians. Mm-hmm. And now they're trying to say that the Jews and the Italians are basically the same thing, or the Irish.
And they're not.
Or the Irish and the Australians are the same people, right? But they're not. They're all. I mean, it's all. Even white or black is like I said, manipulated because basically they're blends.
Let me ask you something.
To me, it's just light skin or dark skin.
What if I told you that? You said they're trying to say that the Jews and the Italians are the same people. What if I told you that not the Jewish people that you see in Israel, the Jews of the Bible, Hispanics, black people, and Native Americans were all the Israelite, the actual Jew? What if I told you that? Would you believe it?
Well, I would believe it, simply because, there are a lot of these people migrated. There's always been migration. Sometimes it was forced, sometimes it was free will.
Now watch this. I'm gonna hit you with something. Give me that precept, because it's going to show you that there wasn't just workers, looking for bread and butter. We got into Egypt in search of food. We did. Joseph was there. There was a famine in the land, and we went in there looking for food because there was a famine. But then we were taken captive in that land.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So when we were taken captive in that land, it wasn't because we was working for bread and butter or milk and butter or milk and honey, whatever it may be. It was because we were slaves, right? Read this.
All right, this is Exodus 1 and 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage.
That sounds like slavery, don't
it? In mortar. So like in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field.
So don't that sound like, that don't sound like you're working for a pay. That sounds like you're being forced to work.
Right. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But see, what I'm referring to is like even our Bible was made by Constantine. It was formulated through years and it changed a lot. Because some of the pages were taken out and then some of the pages are implemented.
We got those.
Yeah.
And we don't have, we don't believe in the book of Jasher. We don't believe in the book of Enoch, the book of Jubilees. We don't believe in none of those. Those are books that were added in.
Yeah,
this book called the Apocrypha was in the original 1611. Now Constantine didn't write the Bible. King James didn't write the Bible. If you go to the Septuagint, these are scrolls before all of these people even existed. King James just authorized a translation of the Greek and the Hebrew text to be written in Spanish, to be written in English, to be written in Portuguese, to be written in Chinese. That's all it was. You see what I'm saying? But this book, these original scrolls, you can find these original scrolls in the Septuagint. You see what I'm saying? Which predates those people who people go around saying wrote the Bible. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times people say these things, but there's no historical evidence to prove that, because how can you say somebody wrote the Bible when the original manuscripts predates those people? Can't say that. Because a lot of people try to say King James wrote the Bible, but the manuscripts that he authorized the translation of it came from manuscripts that predated him. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing, I said something, but we got to prove it. I said, what if I told you that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were the true Jews or the true Israelites? And I said, would you believe it? You say, yeah. But if you believe it, based on what? You got to know. You got to.
Well, when it comes to religious context, we got to get together, you know. But
okay, that's true. We do. I'm gonna show you something. Go ahead. Finish your statement. I'm gonna show you something.
See, what I'm formulating is like I've spoken to like the sergeants here. I speak to like the police sergeants, like the fire department, like a bunch of other people, right? And I've been warning them that the government's using satellites on us. Like they got us, like, started an experiment back in like the Cold War, and then that's how they were trying to integrate and manipulate people. But now it's even worse with this increase of satellites, because basically they have everybody on computers through their cell phones. See, breaks it down.
Yeah, that's something that got to be researched. So go ahead and say what you got to say. Now I'm gonna show you
what I was going to say, what you're saying is true, right? And we see it every day when we use our phones. If you download an app, as far as them tracking what we do and tracking us, like if you download an app, it will ask you. If you download it and install it, it will ask you, do you want third-party companies to track your movements or whatever? So what you're saying is
you see, you think, oh man, they have to use a bunch of computers. But man, all it really takes is like less than a gig to put one human being's life inside of a computer, man.
Yeah, no.
And so they're working with computers that take terabytes, like, you know, some huge old byte. And so they're putting, and then so they'll have a satellite over a city, right? Like every city. And then they'll start like integrating, programming, and as well as like basically moving everything strategically.
And that's what they do, man. The Bible says that Esau is a cunning hunter, right? A man in the field. But also what I wanted to say is, as far as what you were talking about this being like an experiment, a quote-unquote social experiment to a degree, that's true, right? Because how they section the blacks and Latinos off into their communities, that was an experiment done. I forget the exact dates or whatever, but they would first use rats or rodents and trap them in the communities and a small community and see how they would interact.
That's why they call where we live the project.
Right, because it's a project, right? Except on a larger scale.
They did that purposely, man. Like they were, they brainwashed the black community to, like, in other communities, like sag your pants. Believe it or not, sagging your pants, we saw, like, we thought it came from jail, sure, but the military did it as a way to make fun of us. So I did that in high school too. No, they really did, and then we started doing that to like rappers.
Let's build on that. Let's build on that. I'm gonna show you in the Bible first, and then let's build on that. Give me,
see, like in the
hold on, real quick. Give me Genesis 49. I gotta, cause you saying a lot of good stuff, but I gotta show you in the Bible though, because you have to see why this has been prophesied from the beginning. This has all been prophesied to happen to us. So it's good to know that it's happening, but we got to know where it come from, and that was prophesied, and you got to find yourself in this book so you can teach the people. Read that real quick. Genesis 49 and verse, I think it's 14. Yeah, read this. Right, this is about you.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 14. Issachar is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant.
Read 14 one more time.
Issachar is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens.
So what does that mean? I said that's you in the Bible. Issachar in the Bible. I want you to do something for me real quick.
He's being
okay. I want you to hold on real quick. I want you to look at that sign right there. I want you to look at that sign. And I want you to find Issachar.
Issachar right in the middle.
And what does it say? What's beside it?
It should be in red letters.
Mexicans,
right? Yeah. Now what's a very big attribute about Hispanic people? You know, if you want something done,
just go for it.
Go to the Hispanics. They're going to do it.
The Bible don't say that.
Hold on. The Bible you read got it in there.
The Bible don't say that.
You got to hold your peace though. The Bible that you read says it. You just don't read it. That's the problem. You can't say that something that you don't read says something or doesn't say something. It says it in every Bible. You just haven't read it, right? So we're going to teach you something. You just got to relax. Let me teach you. I got you, right?
Okay.
So Issachar is talking about the characteristic of the Hispanic people. They're hardworking people. Said it's a strong ass. An ass is a donkey. A donkey is a working animal, right? It's a beast of burden, right? It carries burdens. It says crouched down in between two burdens. Now let's think about the Hispanic people. Let's think about Mexico. Crouched now, Hispanics, hardworking people, strong people, but they're between two burdens. Let's think about it. What are those two burdens that the Hispanic people are between?
They're between labor and economic prosperity.
Nope. That's a good one, but that's not it. That's a good one, but that's not it. Let's think about it. When Donald Trump came into office, when Donald Trump came into office, what did he try to do?
Oh, he was meant. Okay.
Now, there's just one thing in particular that he tried to do. I want you to
not to worry about the people.
He tried to make everyone's focus on.
But we're not to worry about the people.
Okay, but what did he want to build to keep y'all out of y'all?
Basically, a basic wall.
He wanted to build a wall, right? Hold on, brother. He wanted to build a wall, right? Yeah. So y'all are hated over here in America because he tried to put everybody on the Hispanics and make people hate y'all. And y'all got the cartel in Mexico. Y'all are crossed between two burdens. Each way you look, you hate it here and you hate it where you at. Because you got to hate each other. The cartel is a Mexican cartel.
People will
but they are oppressing people that look just like them,
people
correct?
Will fail you.
Well, let's think about it. Let's think about
God
something real quick. Hold on, brother. We don't need you to preach right now because we recorded and you talking over the recording. But I want you to be a part of the conversation, though. It's all good, right? Now, let's think about us. Let's think about black people. What's going on, my brother? What's going on, King? Let's think about black people, right? We are hated here in this country. That's a fact. We've been hated here for 400 plus years. Came over here as slaves, right? Then what you was talking about, they did redlining, forced us into certain neighborhoods. They did Tuskegee experiments on us. They did all these different things, these atrocities to us. But then at the same time, we got gangs killing our own people, oppressing our own people.
And I'll tell you something about that. See, it was all integrated through systematic differences by something else. Because see, when you go to China,
so let me ask you something though about something you said. Let me ask you something. So about your people, because we talked about it. Arizona was Mexico, California, Texas, all those things was Mexico.
You know,
right?
Trump was hyped up with these satellites too, right? They're manipulating Republicans, that voting Republicans, to basically vote for him, and that was it. Even though
that's true.
Nothing made sense. He popped out of nowhere. He didn't have any political.
That's true. But let's stay on the point real quick. Let's talk about Mexico real quick. Oklahoma, Texas, California, Arizona. All of these things was part of Mexico before people conquered it, right? Mm-hmm. How did they conquer your people to take over that land? How did they do it? There's one answer that I'm specifically
it was a lot of different. Well, when it comes to Mexico, it was a lot of different trades, and as well as different sections of tax. Because see, Mexico,
was your people not killed for that land?
Mexico wanted no. Mexico wanted out of slavery. Like they were one of the first that said, "Hey, we gotta quit slavery." You know, like that's fucked up because we had slaves too. Mm. And so we integrated and we made peace. We were like, yeah, back then even the first cowboys were black.
Of course.
And so, we were hard-working, prosperous people. Mm. But see, once it came to the fact that there was a lot of individuals that kind of got sucked in the world of wealth and wanted money, prosperity, they made these deals, these special deals, and said, "Hey, I'll give you this amount for this land." But Mexico, as far as the way on its offensive or defensive, it didn't have structure for them to have people in those lands to defend their own land. So they were like, "Hey, just give us some money. We don't really feel like fucking with anything anyway. We don't like this place. It's nothing but like desert. It's kind of hot out here. I just want to go home."
So you saying that y'all gave up y'all land to the so-called white man?
They did.
They did. Well, there's so many stories about white people actually taking over y'all land, which is why we use the point that Mexico was California, Arizona, Texas, and all those different places. Mm-hmm. And it was gotten by deceit. You see what I'm saying? Even with the so-called Native American people, how many treaties? It was over like 40 treaties that were signed that were not that was not, you know,
Upheld.
that was not upheld. You see what I'm saying? So the same struggle that we had is the same struggles that you had. The same struggles that you had is the same struggle that the Native American had. But why is there ancient artifacts of the Aztecs in Hebrew in the land of Mexico? Why is that? Because y'all was, why is what?
Why the pyramids built the same way that they were in Egypt?
Well, here's the thing, man. I don't want to push it too far in the conversation. Let's see what controls all that. But the set, like these, back to these satellites, they were basically like, okay, so all this stuff is found there because they were moving a lot of money. Pyramids, y'all have heard of aliens and stuff, right? Okay, aliens and stuff.
Okay.
Y'all heard about them. Here's the thing, they're real. Now, here's the thing, the government was doing deals with them, and they were also handling the way people work as far as like economic, like that's how, and they try to segregate everybody. So they wanted us to make satellites. They wanted us to make pyramids. They wanted us to make a lot of this shit. It was a trap. It was like the smallpox. It was a trap. They gave us something, and then now we're getting fucking names.
But all of these pyramids were built way longer than colonization of the Americans and satellites being created as well.
Here's the thing. When it comes back to the pyramids,
they're already there, although they were used as one of the tools to build something cheap, like a building, like something where we can look at where it's 1 minute. You know, and so, but that was somebody else's idea. That wasn't necessarily a human basic idea where it's like, hey, let's build pyramids. If it were so, all other places around the world would have them as well. So that idea was given to us specifically by something type thing. So here's the deal about this. Now, that too. So there might be a hypothetical way of saying that something is kind of pushing us ideas, just like for us to think about it and make of it. You know, same way like Elon Musk. Think about it. He wants us to get brain implants, right? Which are basically intense. So it's getting intimidated. That would be a good idea. And just like we're moving so far, and anything else gets happened. Just like the satellites can happen too. So that's why there's a lot going on with like Chinese and Russians. Because like they're able to hack, you know, I'm talking about this lobby, you know, they're able to hack these satellites and basically use it for themselves. It's like somebody stole your drone with a bigger control and a better intent. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fire your drone, next thing you know, somebody else did something else, that's it, now they're like, oh, that's fine now. So, but that's what they did. So, now we got all this shit out here in our airspace that the Army military team out here was put out, and now there's other countries that are hacking into it.
but there was also some unknown UAPs, UFOs that hacked into that stuff as well. But that's what they wanted to do.
How does that make the connection between the Native Americans being Israel as well? Like how?
Well,
what is the satellite?
Well, it could be. Well, back to that, it could be the idea that that as far as what we make in our books, like just saying, could have just been invested in by something else foreign. Like, you know, like that could be. I mean, your statement is that it's true. Like, you know, that why are they so similar? But I believe it's true. But it's also the fact that there's been a lot of migration. There's a lot of things, and there's a lot of ideas that kind of go up around time that show that show the effort that, you know, some of our stuff might have been replaced or removed. Like, how do you know that book, for instance, like it's not missing any pages, or how do you know that book has all the pages it's supposed to have?
Even if it didn't have all the pages that we were supposed to have, let's just say that was something that we could use, right?
Yeah.
If they didn't have all these pages, the truth is you can still use it and see biblical prophecies that have happened, that have come to pass. You see what I'm saying? So even, let's just say this page gets ripped out. Does it make the rest of the book alive? No. It makes the rest of the book alive because a page got taken out. Where did they do that at? Let's just think about it. Did you go to school here in America?
Yeah.
Okay. What school? You from here?
Yeah, I graduated. Well, I graduated from Lucy Rag, so.
Okay, yeah. Boom. So in Ragsdale, I'm sure that if you had a book and a page got ripped out throughout the years, you know, they keep the books for about 4 years and they switch them, right? That does not make, you wouldn't say, teacher, this book is now a lie. I have a math book that says 2 + 2 = 4 on page 2. But on page 16 is ripped out. Now 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4 anymore. Where would that make sense? Let's just think about it. On page 2, it teaches you that 2 + 2 = 4 in elementary school, right? On page 16, it got ripped out on accident. Does that make page 2 wrong now?
No, it doesn't make it wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we can't say, because guess what? Give me Psalms 83. I'm gonna show you something. There was a diabolical plot and scheme for us not to know who we are anymore. So one of the things they did was take scriptures out of our book. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they decided to take scriptures out of our book in order to trick us up. Does that make our book not our book anymore, or does it make the history wrong? Watch this. Read that.
This is Psalm 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
We have enemies. We think we got friends everywhere. Like we just come together, we all have friends. No, we have enemies, right? And a tumult is just a tumultuous noise. They make it, basically it's talking about a think tank. We know what think tanks are, right? These people have come up with a think tank. Go ahead.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
So now they've taken a crafty counsel, a wicked plot, slides, tricky, cunning, underhanded, clever. They've made a crafty plot against the people. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against the hidden ones. Those are all the Most High's children. Go ahead.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Said, come let us cut them off from being a nation. Go ahead.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So boom, they did that so we wouldn't know who we are anymore. So wouldn't it be convenient that their historical text, see, people think this is a mystical book that somebody wrote and they made a religion out of it. But let's just think about it. When you have a family tree, let's think about a family tree, right? You have a family tree that you got, and you have a family historian that writes the history of all of your family. Well, if 100 years from now, you don't want these family lines to know who they are no more, what would you do? You will take the historical records from them. You'll kill off their elders and then take their historical reference. You see what I'm saying? So that's what happened to us. They made a crafty counsel so we wouldn't know who we are anymore. So the one thing they did, they took our history book. So now our family, our lineage, our historical line would no longer know who they are. You see what I'm saying? So this is the diabolical plot. So yes, they have taken books out of this Bible, but that just because they took page 200 out, don't mean page 1 is wrong. That's just mean it's wrong. It just means that it's missing a page. Yeah. Then you have to do the research to find out what's missing. And then the thing is, everything has to work within context. Right. Everything will have to agree with each other, right? So I'm gonna show you something. Give me Deuteronomy real quick. Give me Deuteronomy 7:6. I'm gonna show you, because I told you these scriptures was taken out.
Do you guys ever get together or do anything?
Yeah, we do it all the time. That's why I'm teaching you, because we need you to be with us.
Yeah, sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Can I get my number?
Yeah, here's my card. Got the email on the back. That email goes straight to me. Okay. So you can shoot me an email. Yeah. I need your name.
I discuss stuff like that too, but I speak it on a different branch. Like as far as like how I'm trying to get people motivated and maybe speak to Congress as far as like, hey, we know these satellites are real, whatever.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that we got to do though. We got to come back to this.
You can sue them for that.
Yeah, that's cool. But we got to come back to this. If we don't come back to this, all of that's going to be for naught. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you why. Read that real quick. Deuteronomy 7:6. Read that real quick.
It's Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
All right, so boom. He said that he chose one people to be above all people on the face of the earth, right? Go to 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 54. Because I told you, you had to do the research to see what was taken out. And once you find the things that was taken out, you have to make sure that it coincides with the context of the rest of the scriptures. Because these other books that we don't use says stuff that's way off from what the Bible says. So we can't use that because everything works together in harmony. Why read that?
2nd Ezra 6 and 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
So boom, now he's talking about God choosing a certain people again. We just read that in Deuteronomy. Now saying that in one of the missing books. Go ahead.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
So boom, he said the other people, God said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle and a drop that falleth from a vessel. So basically he's saying, hey, they're like this. You got a big jug of water, a thing that's about as big as that speaker, and that falls out. Are you going to try to scoop that up? You ain't trying to scoop that up. It's a drop. You're not going to waste your time. But hold on. Let's see if that being said, if it coincides with the Bible. Give me Isaiah 40. So you see, just because somebody takes something out, don't mean it's wrong. Because now we have to do the research to put it back together, right? Read that. Read that.
I'm gonna have to hit you back up because I got a couple things to do.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll listen to this verse.
Hit me, and you can hit me on my email, right? We're going to read that.
So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 15.
Take up.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the
So long,
balance.
King. Read that again.
Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
See, it said it again. It just said what it said in here. The nations are the drop of a bucket. Go ahead.
And are counted as the small dust of the balance.
They counted as nothing. It just said this. These two books coincide with each other. So once again, don't be of the mindset that if one page gets ripped out, not everything is wrong. No, we got to find that page and make sure it coincides with the rest of the Bible. Make sense? But there's more on that. Go ahead, finish it out.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing, and Lebanon is not sufficient to burn.
So boom. So with that, you see that the Bible coincides, but your history is in this Bible. The history of your people being over here is in this Bible. The history of your land being taken over is in this Bible. The history of us going into slave on slave ships is in this Bible. You feel what I'm saying? So in order, I really want to get you this verse because you said something. You said something about suing the people for the satellites and stuff,
because
right?
A lot of extremists are what's behind all this, man.
What?
And so like I've done a lot of research on, like, again, my book releases this year on it.
Okay.
And there's a lot of evidence to show that that's what they've been working on. So yeah,
I know I said one more. I'm gonna leave you with this one.
Yeah.
Just because I said that we got to come back to this book. And all the things that we can possibly do, suing people and all this can be for naught. If it will be for naught if we don't come back to this book, right? So, if for context, you have a general taking over different lands and different people, but he couldn't take over the children of Israel, and he's asking his general or his commanding officer, "Why can't I take these people over?" And here's gonna be the answer. Read that real quick.
This is Judith 5 and 17. And whilst they sin not before their God, they prosper.
So the Bible said, when we sin not before our God, we prosper. Go ahead.
Because the God that hateth iniquity was with them.
So the God that hates all that stuff you talking about is with us if we listen to him. Read.
But when they departed, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore.
We're gonna end right there. But when we depart from him, he destroys us. So what I'm saying is this: we got to come back to this book. All that stuff sound good. It's all well and cool. We should definitely be putting things in action, for sure. But we got to be following the Most High God so he can be with us in all things that we do. Because like he said, these people that you're trying to fight against are a terrible people, and they're very smart in how they move. You have to have the Most High on your side in order to defeat these people. Suing them and just not by itself ain't gonna do. You gotta have the Most High on your hands. But shoot me an email.
I'll shoot you. No, I got Instagram. I'll follow you on Instagram. I'll shoot you an email.
And shoot me a message on Instagram.
Yeah, because because I'm trying to open up some time to be able to talk to people about what I know, kind of show off some of the evidence I have,
for sure,
and maybe get some people involved. Like, man, like I kind of want to start like a movement with it. You know,
this is the movement
because it's important. I think if we can collaborate a little bit better on this, people will take notice and say, you know, we got to legalize this stuff, and that'll help. That'll help a lot of communities stay safe, because they really try to take advantage. Like they really try segregating us with that stuff, man. They put they were targeting like communities, like poor communities, to just drink and smoke all the time.
Of course,
like they do that stuff all the time, and so it's a high necessity that we all the way just hold on that. Bible
says it's high time that we wake up out of sleep. That's good, man.
Right.
Hit me up, bro.
You guys stay safe, right?
You too, man.
All right,
man. You too.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, black skin.